Brother Mark Scott here with my sweetheart Flo. Say hey, Flo.
Hey guys.
All right, this is the kind of the after dark conversation. We're actually watching a video, and we just got to talking, and we always have these conversations. I always say I wish we could get these on camera. So we're gonna catch this conversation on camera. We just gonna freestyle. We're just talking about relationships, but she has this philosophy of what's good for the goose is good for the gander, and I'm just quite honestly, I understand where the motivation for that intention comes from, because when you feel like you've been wronged, you want some justice. You want your get back. I'm just saying that if you look at the natural implications of how men and how women uh, handle the response, the outcomes are fundamentally different. And I'm just saying you have to take into account your decision making can't be all based on emotion. And I'm just saying that's a dangerous spiral that doesn't produce anything good. Two wrongs don't make a right. But I can understand your point of view and how you feel being the reason why you want to do it, but it takes you out of your character, is my basic understanding of the premises. But I would love for you to take this opportunity to explain your point of view of why what's good for the goose is good for the gander.
So I tell Mark, I do believe in what's good for the goose is good for the gander.
Oh, gosh.
Being in relationships before, I think when people get hurt, whether it's men or women, and you truly feel that pain, you want that other person to feel the same pain that you're feeling. Because again, you wonder why. Why did this happen to me? Why did this person cheat? Why did this person do whatever it is that they did? And many times you feel like, okay, that person moves on and they're able to move on with their life. Some will hop into another relationship right out of whatever has happened, and they continue to live, right? When those of us that are hurt, we're dealing with the hurt. We're dealing with the pain. We're dealing with just the deep sorrow and having to deal with every day trying to get our lives back on track, when either people or people who have seen that other person, they seem like they're just in la la land. So you stand with that hurt and that pain, and a lot of the times you want that hurt and pain for that other person to feel the same way. So sometimes that's when you get people who either become vindictive, or they say what's good for the goose is good for the gander. And now I'm going to do something that now hurts you. I'm going to do something where you can feel the same exact way that I feel, right? You can now sit and linger and think and feel that deep heartache that I felt. And right, two wrongs don't make a right. I get it. And when the end result, when you think about it, you're like, okay, I did what I did. Now they felt it. With many people, that's the prize. I just wanted you to feel what I felt. I don't care what the end result is. You felt what I felt? You get it? Okay, cool. Now you understand. Now get out of my face. And now you have to deal with that heartache and pain, the same that I had to deal with, that heartache and pain. So that's the only reason why I say that. Many people just want others to feel it, because I've had people who, again, they're gone their merry way. They'll get into another relationship. They already happy and smiling. And there's weeks and months that I'm just drowning in just deep sorrow. I can't get it together. I can't focus. I feel just out of tune. And I'm the one carrying that burden of all of that heartache and pain. So for some, it's like, okay, get back is times 10. So when I get you back, I'm getting you back. So now you can, you know, uh weather the same storm that I weathered. So that's why I told him that, and again, it doesn't work for everybody. Everybody is not that what's good for the goose and good, what's it's good for the gander. Some people are like, it's happened. I know I need to move on and move forward, and I'm able to do that. But I'm a Scorpio. Scorpios, we have this tail that will sting the shit out of you. So you mess with us if you want to. That give back,
She wonders why I tell her I'm afraid of her.
But
Uh,
you share, because that's one thing that Mark and I are different. He disagrees with it, and he has his reasons. And again, we both listen to each other, which I can definitely respect. But he has his reasons why he's not for it.
well, let me just be transparent, and I'm gonna just do this of my own accord. As a man who has fallen short of the glory, as the church folks would say, who has made the cardinal sin in a marriage, I cheated. And I remember the pain that I felt looking into the eyes of my ex-wife, knowing that I caused her pain because I deceived her. I didn't keep my word. I lied. I broke trust. I was completely wrong. Had no justification for what I did, but I had to own up to it. At that point, I'm not entitled to how she responds. She she's entitled to her emotional response and reaction. At that point, I can't undo what's been did. My For me, I only wanted to try to um repair, um take accountability, and see if there was any redemptive opportunity available to salvage what knew I had destroyed. If your overall end goal is to keep what you have together and fix it, I'm not saying you're not entitled to some um understanding and empathy for the pain you're going if you've been violated is absolutely due to you. But to, at that point, become judge, jury, and executioner of what the payback should be, and to choose to, now I'm going to do the same thing to you that you did to me, not because it was my original intent or motivation and that's what I desire to do. Now I'm motivated purely by revenge to inflict the exact same type of pain to you that you have to me. And I that's the only way I'm going to feel better, regardless of the consequences and the damage and the chain of events that I may set into motion that will have far reaching consequences after that. Once my emotions have cooled, once I've come to a calmer sense and wisdom has kicked in, and maybe there is an opportunity that I may want to try to salvage this, maybe not. That may not, that's not a for sure thing either way. But to do the same thing back, it sets a cycle in motion that only spirals downward at that point and benefits nobody, but gives you an emotional, fleeting, and very temporary sense of satisfaction. And my question is, when we look at the state of our community as a whole, how many families are already broken in our communities? Is there anything that we have that's bigger than our individual sense of needing to be right or justified, or avenged for things that have been done that hurt us personally and emotionally, which are real? Is there anything bigger than that we are willing to be on code about and hold together for the sake of the greater good? Like, is that something? Is that a conversation that we can even have at this point?
I don't. For some people, yes, but for many people, usually no. Once, sometime, for some, once you cross that line, it's truly hard to come back from that line. Now,
Understood.
I know people personally who have been able to come back, let's say, from cheating. and they try to get counseling, make it work, communicate more. But a lot of the times, many of them, it is still a true dread because once that trust is broken,
Yeah.
it is hard to honestly sit there every day looking at this person that has broken your trust.
No, absolutely. Because I had to be completely honest. Like as a man, I had a very clear double standard. Because I told my ex-wife, like, if had she had cheated on me once, I would have found out. That's absolute. Like, there's nothing else you can do. Like, no, like it's over. And I like I as the mother of my child, like I don't want to see nothing bad happen to you. Like I'm not gonna go in there. Oh, now I got to go get you back. Like that wouldn't be my thought process. It's just it is solidified that between me and you, romantically, emotionally, like I can never give you access to that part
I was
again.
explaining to him how fucked up I felt that was.
No,
because again,
and I understand that.
Right, you can do it, but then if I do it because I'm trying to, let's say, get you back, you then are wholeheartedly like, nope, you don't get another chance.
I'm like Jay-Z.
It was okay for me to do it. I'm like
Jay-Z back in the, you don't get it.
It was okay for me to do it. It's okay for me to envision
I'm a man
with
pride.
Another female. It's okay for me to envision you.
I'm not saying that's
having
okay.
Another female all over you, you inside of her. But I then choose to, let's say, cheat or do the same. Because I feel like I want to get back. And then your response is, we're done. There's nothing to talk about. Like, we can't get back together because you violated that, when it's like, you violated it first.
No, and let me be clear. Even though I feel the way I feel with my double standard personally, it doesn't mean that I don't acknowledge the way you feel and understand and respect it as much as just that it's different, because I understand as a woman, you feel the same way that I do as a man.
Right.
And it's funny because even the double standard, like when we were having conversations about threesomes, like as a man, like I'm okay with another, like a woman and woman. Yes. Another man, absolutely not. And that's a clear double standard. Like again, we talk about fantasies. We've been very transparent and open. And again, if we were ever to come across a bit like, look, here's what I will accept, here's what I won't, and we just put all that on the table. Like, okay, well, we just know what to keep off the table. But the fact that we can have that conversation was amazing. But you were like, nah, if you can have two women, then I should be able to have two men. And I'm like, hell the fuck no, nah, that shit ain't gonna work.
Again, I think, in relationships, a lot of double standards, I feel, fall with men. A lot of double standards is on their terms.
We the only ones that got any fucking side. Like they perfect. All the women are perfect.
No. We're not perfect. Nobody's perfect.
So, well, can you give me any double standards that women have?
We don't have any double standards. You guys have all of the double standards.
You see what I got to deal with?
Yeah, they want threesomes. They want to be able to sleep with other women, because what men will say is, not all, some, well, I don't care about these women that I'm sleeping with. It's just like that song that's out. You gonna let one little fuck all this shit up. Yes, fool. Because again, regardless of you feeling like you just have to sleep with that girl just because that was your desire, I'm over here. I'm the one holding up everything for us.
Right.
I'm your ride or die. I should be your main female woman queen.
Right.
That when shit bypasses in front of you, again, like I tell him, don't get me wrong. We all look. Okay, so let's be honest.
I don't be looking.
The hell he don't. Let's be honest.
Hold on. Baby, have I ever been like I'm not disrespectful?
Like, no, you're not disrespectful, but I do tell you that I know that there are women that you have seen that you find sexy or beautiful. Again, I tell him I have eyes too, so let me be honest. There are men that I have seen that I thought were handsome and nice looking. So again,
what?
We both
you looking at other dudes on me?
We both have eyes So couples have eyes. So don't act like neither one of you guys don't.
I'm a
you
saint.
Do. That he's not. But
okay.
no, not in no bad. Like he's done nothing bad. So let me say that he's done nothing bad or disrespectful. I love you, baby.
I love you too.
But again, like I tell him,
looking at other dudes though.
We all have eyes where we both look.
I'm insecure.
But that is where it should stay. Where you're looking, not moving it to touching and moving it to a different level. And I think with men, they'll say, not all, some, that if they're sleeping with someone else or these other women's, it is just something that they're doing. There's no emotion involved. They're not trying to, wife this other female. They're not trying to get into a relationship. This is a hit it and quit it. That is just their desire that they wanted to do.
Right.
But now they come back to their head queen. And they want the head queen, which is the main woman in their life,
right,
to be like, oh, that's fine, babe. Go ahead. You did your thing. As long as I'm queen bee, I'm good. Now, don't get me wrong. Some women, they may be okay with that.
Hey, how many men?
I don't play that.
Hold on. Wait a minute. Hold on. Just for the record, have I come to you like that?
No.
Okay. But these men do exist out there. So
they do.
What percentage of men would you say are like
I
that?
hate when he asked me that percentage because I'm not getting in trouble with nobody. I don't know what the percentage is, but I'm just saying that there are men who do it. But there are females too, so don't get me wrong. Ladies, some of you guys do the same thing, to your man, where you'll have a good man and
he ain't good enough.
And for whatever reason,
she got that other side she need to get out. So
that
she got
you are going and doing your dirt. And again, not okay. If you have a good man,
who's better at it, men or women?
Better at what?
Doing dirt.
The ladies are, and the only reason why I say that because men, they make a lot of mistakes. They'll sleep with the neighbor, and if the neighbor get pissed, she tell on them. Women, we are better at it. I
ain't slept with none of my neighbors.
Because again,
I've seen some of the neighbors.
We're very tactical with how we do things. Men sometimes, because they think with their dicks,
we're impulsive.
Yeah, they're not paying attention to everything that should go along with it. Females, we do. We just are not trying to get caught. We're not trying to piss where we lay. Like, it's just we do it in a more tactical way. Men, again, sometimes their dick overshadows everything and they're just not paying attention. So that's where a lot of their mistakes are made, because then that's how they get caught, or their phones, or somebody says something or does something. So they tend to always are trying to fix what they got called on.
Well, babe, this is our after dark conversation, and thank you for being so honest and transparent. I want to ask permission before we go any further. Can we be honest? Because I want to ask some questions and get your thoughts on some things.
Yeah, we can be honest.
Because I've been having this real struggle with people's lack of honesty. Like, when we talk to people, we deal with people, we've become just way too comfortable about casually lying about everyday shit for no reason. And people do this, men and women. I mean, we lie to each other, we lie to ourselves. People lying in their music, it's people lying on video. Like, people just lie like they want attention, they want to make people feel good, or they want to cover up what kind of bullshit they do. Like, people just lie. Like, on my job, I talk to people all day on the phone. People will say the dumbest shit to me, and I know they be lying just because they don't want to say, hey, look, I just don't want to talk on the phone right now to you about this. Like, I would respect that, But
Right.
people tell me it's like I hear people struggling to come up with a lie that will sound good enough for them to feel okay about lying, but make me believe it. Like, I don't, just tell me, hey, like, but people don't do that. And people in relationships coming together, like, we're not telling people what we really want or where we really see ourselves going because we're afraid of something.
Yeah.
So when it comes to cheating, honestly, why do we know men and women will have different motivations for why they cheat in general, but why do you think we're so scared to talk to the people we're in a relationship with about what we're really dealing with before we get to the point to where we feel like we have to cheat?
I think we just worry about what they think and how they're going to take whatever it is that we are trying to say, or we've had the conversations multiple times and you just don't feel like you're going to be heard. So you feel like I've been down this road, I've had the conversation, the person is not listening, and I'm just tired of repeating myself. That's one. And then sometimes you're worried about what the person will think if you come out and you're like, hey, I just kind of need to have a conversation on how I'm feeling and, kind of where my thoughts are taking me. And they're taking me to a place that, could be dangerous within our relationship. So sometimes having those hard conversations, I think, can be very scary and difficult, or you're just tired of repeating yourself on what it is that you're saying that you want.
Okay. So it seems like either it's the fear of the a misunderstanding, or there's just there's an apathy there, like you don't even care what I'm going through.
Right.
So since
Well,
you
not care, but some people, like I was saying, if anybody watched our earlier video, um, men
we
and
we did
women,
another video before this. We like talking. This is
we do.
we've been talking about capturing our conversations for a
Yeah,
while, so
yeah.
why not
But men
record
and
this?
women, when we, again, just period, I think when you look at people's love languages, sometimes they're just very different. And sometimes you think about, when you get upset or mad at somebody, why aren't they getting what I'm saying? But honestly, if that's not really their language, they just may not honestly understand what it is that you're trying to say. And we, as people with feelings, especially women, we are ready to jump because we're like, I shouldn't have to repeat myself. But as you stated, women and men think differently. And as a man, you may feel like, yeah, you said it, I hear you, but still don't get it. But if that's not you as a man and as a person, it's just you may truly not see what it is that I'm trying to say to you.
And again, I try to be empathetic as a man, and I'm not claiming to speak for all men. I'm just saying me as the man that I am. One of the most vulnerable aspects of what I feel when I hear this is I think there's a lack of awareness for the dynamic either way that scares me. Because when men cheat, there has to be an opportunity. Like, it's not, it's again, there's not the level of calculation, planning, emotional attachment. Like, like I say, when you cheat, like when women talk about cheating, like you said, how calculated they are, you it's almost like you cultivate a whole mini relationship with a whole nother person to 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 replace what you're not getting in your relationship.
But again, when men cheat, somebody can just walk by and y'all dick get hard and it's like, I want to fuck her. Again, not thinking of the woman that stands with and by you,
Mm-hmm.
not thinking of everything that your
And let me be
relationship is
clear,
worth.
I there's no good or valid reason to cheat ever. I'm not ever saying that. No justification. I'm just talking about the different way we process it. And I'm glad we're having this conversation on camera because we'd be talking about this all the time. We'd be talking about some
We
issues.
do. And again, when we talk about, you know, miscommunication or just thinking
Because
differently.
she be worried about how much she thinks I'm a cheat sometimes.
So
But we had some heavy conversations, some heavy times here.
we have, and again, I don't know how deep we go, because again, you know, if we go deep, it would really be bringing back the layers between Mark and I. And I'm not sure how much layers we're trying to bring back. But funny story, as we talk about the miscommunication.
Yeah. That's this is your phone.
No, sure.
Oh, those were both mine.
Yeah.
Oh, she's so sweet. She brought me 2 cookies.
But funny conversation, funny situation, and again, anybody that has been through this, please, after we post this, let us know if you've had kind of like the miscommunications or if things have happened.
I ain't gonna lie, I'm gonna feel stupid. Full disclosure, I feel stupid.
So, Mark and I this morning, we had just been talking. He was on the phone doing some business and different things, and I was kind of like on one, and you know, kind of like hot and bothered, and
she was in that song.
Wanted, you know, to play, but you know,
she was initiated.
You know, knew that I needed to go do something during the day.
I had a kitty birthday party to take Simone to,
and
bless her heart, money.
And so we had I had a birthday party to do earlier. So there were things he needed to do, there were things I needed to do. But yes,
I'm working on my book again, The Dating Game.
I was
hit the cash out, Mr. M. Scott 76. $13. Brother Mark Scott at gmail.com. Send your receipt there. You'll get the first copy of the book.
Can I finish the story?
Well,
so yes, I was on one, and I was ready to play, but again, he had stuff to do and I know I needed stuff to do. So went to the birthday party, dropped little mama off, and it was only like really kids there, and so a lot of the parents had just dropped their kids off. So I had sent him a message and I'm like, hey, you know, it's really just kids. I had talked to the mom. I'm like, I'm going to, you know, come home and I'm just going to let, you know, baby girl play. And then I'll come back and I'll get her. And so he's just like, well, he puts these little happy faces with the sunglasses. So
my little emojis, you know.
Yeah, his little emojis.
I like to be cool, you know, like, yeah, I'm a cool guy.
So I'm on my way home, and I didn't realize on my way home that there was a Chicken Express coming. It was new, and I'm like, oh my God, like I love Chicken Express. And so
she was excited.
Yeah, I was so excited. And
I'm like that about Frenchie's chicken.
And I'm thinking, you know, he's working, you know, I want to, you know, have like a little snack for him while he's working. I'll go in there. I'll try to get some work done, you know, when I get home. So, you know, we should be good. So I get home and I come in and I'm like, hey, you know, you're good. I was on the way home, passed by Chicken Express, you know, got some snacks, and he was.
Oh no, go ahead. Because I was thinking I was gonna pull up the message. I'm like, oh, hold on, we're using the phone to record this because I would show y'all the messages.
But he was sitting here. And so
I just got out the shower. He
just got out the shower. So I was like, babe, you know, you need anything? And he's like, no, I'm good. I'm like, okay. So I go in there, I make me a plate.
Completely missing the whole plate.
I make me a plate and I sit down and I'm eating
in the other room.
And so I turn on the TV, and so Mark comes in and he looks at me and he was like, oh, I thought you were coming home for some goodie. And I'm like, no, like I was coming home because I didn't want to just sit at the party with all the kids and no parents were really there. So I was coming home because I was like, oh, I'm gonna come home, I'm gonna chill, get some little work done, get us some snacks.
That ain't
But
what I thought. That ain't what I thought.
His mind thought was in a whole new different mind thought.
Again, this is the difference between how men and women think, and we talk about this all. And I have to admit, I'm in a unique category, even as a man, because I'm special. She diagnosed me. I got issues. Like I will admit, I'm not perfect. I have really good intentions. I'm honest, but yeah, I got some issues. And for some reason, she puts up with my issues. But because of my issues, my mind tends to process things in a certain way. Before she walked out of the house to go take money to the party, um, again, we were doing some various things, but her mood, her attitude, her level of affection was way up here. Yeah, like if we didn't have other stuff to do, we would have got some stuff done. But it was like, all right, so I just like, okay, so I'm gonna get you later, like for sure.
Yeah, that's what he said. So my mindset is like, okay, later on at night, we gonna get our little hotness on.
Now, fellas, you understand the moment in the day that the woman you're in a relationship with, because you understand every day it ain't popping. Like you got real life going on. You got kids, you got work. Like you ain't swinging from the chandelier every day, all day. You busting it open. Like that ain't happening for real in a real relationship. There is some balance to this. So on the days when she signals to you first, hey, I want this. Your whole day reprioritized because you're like, oh, it's on. So when the day started off and she was like, I'm on one. So I'm like, well, bet I got you. But again, we got stuff to do right now because again, I got work to do. She got places to be. So once we come to an understanding that, oh, she on that, again, my mind state shifted. That became top focus for me. I'm like, oh yeah, I got to take care of that because I put do I take care of it?
Takes care of business.
Okay. So I'm like, okay, so she want that work. So I gotta make sure I'm on point. So I already made up my mind. Bet. So when she leave out the door, that is what is on my mind. I'm back here in the lab working on what I'm doing. I get a text message. Hey, ain't nothing but kids here. Shmoney's good. I'm on my way back to the house. And she put the little happy face emoji on there. So when she left out the door, our last interaction was about that work. So I'm thinking, hey, she's like, well, I got your money set up. I'm gonna come on back to the house, so we can, real quick. And
that's what he thought.
That's
heard.
what I was.
That's what he thought he heard.
And then remember, this is just a text message. So my mindset was still in that same frame from our last conversational point. I didn't realize she had shifted all the way to she done fell in love with the Chicken Express experience. She on a whole different wavelength. But the wavelength I'm on is she coming back home because she want this business. So gentlemen, take care of your hygiene. So I jump in the shower, get cleaned up, make sure, when she step in the door, if she wants service, it's going to be ready for her. So, again, she come in the door. I'll still get back to work until she get here. So she come in the door. Hey, babe, she pop in like, hey, you need anything? I saw a Chicken Express. Like, I got you something to snack on. I'm like, cool, babe. So, because, again, I don't like to work on a full stomach. I usually eat after. So if I know I'm about to put in some service, I want to be comfortable, relaxed, make sure I can perform properly. Because, again, on the full stomach, when you get to a certain age, it just ain't popping like that. You don't want to be uncomfortable trying to put in work. So I'm prepared to make sure my woman has a level grade A experience, as always. But she ain't even on that no more.
When I tell you,
her whole persona. She done went in the other room, done turned on the TV, made her a big ass plate. She about to sit down and eat some chicken. And I'm thinking she came back. Yeah, she about to tap the food. I think she come back to tap me up. And she ain't even thinking about me no more. And I'm like, oh, I I felt so dumb because I misunderstood the whole play. I was
When
in a
I tell
whole
you,
nother zone.
We both started dying.
Oh, we laughed about that.
He comes to the room and he like, "Babe,
Like,
like
what's
what you
up?
turn on TV for?" And
You
I'm
in here
like,
turning on TV to make it play. I thought you was coming to get this work. She like, huh? Like, no,
Like,
I
what
thought
you talking
we gonna
about?
do that like
Later.
I'm like, and see, this is one of those moments. I'm like, you know what? Simple misunderstandings sometimes in communication can cause real problems. Because I remember a time when I was younger, I would have been bent out of shape behind that. Like the fact that I was ready and you on something else for me would have been like, how come you don't feel what I'm on?
The shit was hilarious.
It was funny. Now I don't understand why she be getting a little like attitude with her face when she say shit.
Hilarious.
That's that nasty ass Scorpio shit. But anyway, I'm gonna let her slide because she a good woman. She down, but she try to be spicy and shit. But I be checking that shit. I don't play
that. The shit was hilarious.
I don't know, that was funny, but I don't play that shit. You know that. I don't want to do that shit.
This shit was hilarious. That's all I have to say. Like, it was so funny. We both, I think we laughed for a minute.
Yeah, I think that, we needed to get that story out today. Yeah, I had to tell that story. I hope this blesses somebody, honestly.
Somebody. Tell us your stories. Share them. Don't feel, again, Mark and I, this is something that we talked about. And our biggest focus is, really bringing couples back together through good and bad.
I want to help.
It's not always going to be pretty.
We done both been through the shits before, and I don't want to see other people go through that. If you don't have to go through it, don't. If you got a relationship right now and there's any chance you can fix and save it, work on keeping that shit together. Do whatever you got to do. Get counseling, get therapy, get help, get around other people that are together, and stay around them kind of people.
And that's why he's writing his book too. It stems from a lot of the relationship talks that we had, and that was one thing that I truly loved and appreciated him, because that was my biggest push in my conversation with him. It's about speaking to both. And I think when you look at YouTube and just different platforms today, you have many where the women, are pointing their fingers at the men are pointing their fingers at the women, and it just seems like everybody is pointing fingers, but there's no solution where both parties are able to come together and have a conversation. Now, don't get me wrong, we've seen podcasts and different things.
There's some good ones out here. There's some good ones out here.
So those that are doing it, we love you and appreciate.
Shout out to We Need to Talk. That channel, that brother.
Yeah,
I'm studying your interview style, man. You're amazing.
He's amazing.
And the one you just did with Courtney Michelle on sex, but that was phenomenal. Oh God, yeah.
And again, we just want to give back in our own way.
And shout out to the Godfather, Kevin Samuels, like for real. I know she's not a fan of Kevin Samuels. I get that. But I am. And again, I understood where he came from and what he was trying to do. And controversy does sell to a certain degree, but I know he didn't have ill will or malicious intent. He was genuinely trying to bring the community together in a way that I don't think it's still fully appreciated. But I just want to shout out that it's so many other great content creators out there that we all can learn from, even if we don't agree with it. And I think this is another thing that I'm trying to encourage her in, is you can disagree with someone's point of view without having to completely be disagreeable with them as a person totally. And I think that's something that we're going to have to figure out, because again, we need each other. Everybody has a role to play in this healing process. And some people's role is just going to be an example of shit not to do. I mean, that's just the truth. But we have a genuine love for other people to give back. And that's why we're willing to share our story. Hopefully it helps. I don't know what else to give. Like I can do a lot of stuff. I can talk about a lot of different things. But if ain't nobody going to listen, it ain't going to matter. If it's not going to be something that's going to give value to other people, I don't honestly want to do it. And then I'm just glad that it's something that we can actually do together, because sometimes in people's pursuit for fame or clout or whatever, they're willing to sacrifice the people that mean the most to them in order to achieve status or fame or money, and I just don't believe in that. Like she is she is like day one with me. Like the stuff we've gone through. Um, yeah, she's irreplaceable, and the way she loves me is so amazing. Uh, I'm glad we get to build something and do something together because I think it's important. I need people to see this so y'all know who this is my security. Like this is yeah
And that's what we talk
my
about
safe
doing,
my safe place,
doing story time,
my
just so
peace.
we can
Even
share.
though she be running her mouth sometimes, she do give me a lot of peace.
Yeah, I do
She takes good care.
remember that. And you,
Don't
me,
don't you remember that me shit? I told you about that bullshit. Don't add that
and
little extra negative shit. Just
and
accept it.
you, me, babe, you, me, again.
I'm different though. Can you explain that? Cause you say it like I'm different. I'm special. I think she means like on the short bus, like her trio. I don't mean like that, but like I'm challenged. I'm different.
You're
Can you
not challenged.
can you can
That's not what different
what
means.
makes me so different to you?
Again, when you think of relationships and when you think of people that you've been with, sometimes you may come across, your significant other that you just really feel are different from others that you have been with, connected to, you know, and it's like you're always looking to see, sometimes similarities, differences, and may be one who's just you can truly pinpoint is very different in just how they
I'm the
move,
oddball.
how they talk, the way they love you, the way they communicate, the way they show you things. And it's a beautiful thing when you find somebody who in a lot of ways speak the language that you're looking to really truly connect with someone. So that's why I tell him he's different in a lot of those ways, because a lot of my love language and just certain things that are very important to me, he has connected on a different level with. And for me, that's truly appreciated because, when you have important things that you truly believe in, and that really touch you in a way that is just genuine, makes you feel a certain kind of way, and it really brings that soul connection between you and that person. It really means a lot, and it feels a lot, and you just take that breath, kind of like in waiting to exhale, when you're like, I can exhale to know that I've truly met my soulmate, my soul tie, um, who truly gets and understands me. Again, not always perfect, but
I'm not.
at
I'm not.
least at least to those
I'm
important
a work in
points.
progress still.
At least to
I'm
those
humble enough
important
to know that.
points that you know it fulfills you. And when you think about the fulfillment, like you truly can say you filled your cup with feeling complete and whole.
So I'm curious because as you say that, how much of it is a balance between who I am as a man and who you are as a woman and where you're at in your life now?
Well, I was explaining to him, I'm at a point in my life, I'll be 50 this year, and I'm just at a point in my life where things are different the way I look at them than when I was younger. And the things I wanted, would accept, wouldn't accept. I'm just at that point in my life that, again, the person that I'm connected to and coming into in my life, you know, just it looks different. It feels different. I want different. And so when I think about, Mark and I and where we've been and where we are now, um, you definitely touch those points, where I feel peace. I feel that you're truly here for me, and you truly want to give me what it is that I need, and vice versa. I'm about teamwork, make the dream work. And I think in relationships, it's truly about that 50-50. Again, we know that the man is the king of the castle. Don't get me wrong. That's what many of us women want to see. But I think a man needs to understand too, behind every good man is a good woman. Let her be your queen. Hold that 50-50 and really work and build together. That's where the harmony stays and stands. And that to me is what carries a lot through. Definitely, it takes other elements. But when you think of relationships today, so many people are ready to just jump ship. They're
Yeah.
not willing to fight. They're not willing to
It takes
communicate.
It takes effort. Like you can't
It's
be
like another
lazy. You
job.
can't be lazy, honestly, and or selfish
Right.
and have a good, healthy, long-lasting relationship. Like it takes work. The two of you are going to change and evolve over time through experience, depending on where you're at in life. The level of trauma, baggage, healing, or unhealing you bring to a situation has to be factored and accounted in. Your level of attraction, your level of interaction, the ability to communicate. Do you have a plan? Like, does your relationship have a purpose outside of, hey, what does this person make me feel? Do you make me feel good all the time? Like, there has to be something more to a relationship than just that. And like, even you can't build a relationship off of just sex. You can't do that.
I say that all the time.
True. You can't build a relationship. It's important. Sex is definitely important, but you can't have a whole relationship just off that. Just like you can't have one without it.
Agree.
So
Agree.
I love the way we have conversations and talk because even though they're heavy for us, I think they add to a level of understanding that give our relationship a strength that for me, I know personally as a younger, less experienced, less mature man, I wouldn't be able to fully appreciate you the way I do. And there there's a certain general concept about how women are valued in the dating market, in the relationship market, by a couple of factors that seem to be just universal. One has to be age, the other would probably be beauty, which are all, well, age isn't subjective, that's an objective number, that's finite. Beauty or attraction is subjective to people. Um, why do you, well, do you believe that at this stage of your life, after everything you've been through, meeting you now, getting to know you now, versus having met you younger or before in life, do you feel like I'm getting a, or you are presenting a better version of yourself now as a woman than you did, say, at a younger stage of your life?
Of course. Of course. Young, when we're young, we're living and learning. I think everybody's living and learning and exploring and seeing. And honestly, a lot of the times we don't know what we want. We don't. We say we feel that we do. And again, I believe that women mature more than men. So at earlier stages, women are just ready, right? I always tell him I feel that men honestly are not ready for serious relationships until they're probably 30, 35, honestly. And I
Yeah,
tell a lot of
yeah.
my male students
They don't want to
that,
hit it. They don't want to hit it though. They
but
don't want
they
to hit it.
don't, because again, a lot of the times I feel that a lot of these young men, they're trying to get in between your legs. So they make it sound good in what it is that they're trying to present and what they want, what they're claiming they want to do and be,
Cherry.
when really
Social
they are
sweet.
just trying to get between your legs. So a lot of us at certain ages, especially those young ages, 18, 19, 20, a lot of our 20s, we're still just learning and exploring. Now, don't get me wrong. Sometimes, you know, baggage comes with it, situations, hurt comes with it. And so as you get into relationships, you have to be able to heal yourself before you get with somebody. So you're not bringing a lot of that hurt and pain along with it, which then now carries to the other person. But I think for like somebody like myself, most definitely, I feel better seasoned, um, definitely more mature. I know that I can give you all of me, even through my trials and tribulations. I want to bring out the best part in me. And it's taken this journey to get here, but I think it's the best of me for sure.
There you have it. She said that herself. I mean, because part of me wants to go a little bit deeper. I just don't know how
Well,
far or
again,
how
babies, we
comfortable.
we 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 have our time is almost up, and
So
again, we want to do story times, and we want
yeah,
to definitely keep talking
for real.
and keep putting our story times out, because again, we want you guys to share too. So if you see these videos and you want to be a part of the revolution and journey of bringing relationships back together,
This
please talk to us, share with us. Are there things
comment,
you want us to
talk about.
share or talk about? But share with us. We would love to. Mark does videos with people, and he does interviews,
Yeah,
and we would love to have some couples on where we all can have conversations together.
and please, there's no judgment here. I have no ill intent, no motivation behind other than trying to help. So if you reach out, understand where we're coming from. We're coming from a place to have honest conversation and dialogue that moves the conversation forward in a helpful way that people can benefit from. So if you are willing to talk, share your story. Again, we're not here to do jokes, make mockery. Like again, I'm not an
Right.
entertainer. I will talk to entertainers. I'm not an entertainer. So just understand that our motivation, where we're coming from, is a genuine place.
So be ready for our next story time with Mark and Flo.
This has been the After Dark version.
Yes, the after dark. If y'all, if we can talk raunchy too. So again,
Well,
I used to. We won't get too raunchy. But
she's a bad girl. On the
again, like I told him, with in relationships, you got to bring flavor to the relationships too. I feel like a lot of people get comfortable over time and get complacent, and that's in relationships you can't. So so
is that a yes or no?
maybe.
Maybe. Is that a yes
And
or
of
no?
course he's like
Where's the when you ask somebody a direct question, that should provide a
yes,
yes?
yes.
It's amazing, baby. Huh?
So again, you got to add flavor to your relationship
You
too. It's
do.
very important.
Be spontaneous, and fellas, let me just encourage y'all. Um, you do have to build yourself, no doubt. Men, you have to be rooted and established in your purpose and know who you are. Before you bring a woman into your life to have a relationship, operate on a principle of integrity. Be honest. Because again, the main thing for any woman you deal with is be who you say you are. Again, I'm not telling you what to be, but don't deceive people. Don't lie. Like this is the one thing where I have to agree with all women 100%. If you lie just to get some pussy, stop it. Don't. Just be honest. You'll be surprised how many women will actually be okay with you as long as you deal with them straight up and be honest. So let me just say that, and I extend this to all people. We need to bring back a revolutionary of just being truthful and honest, and being about what we say we are. Like that would help the situation move forward light years. I don't know why we're so afraid to tell the truth to each other about how we feel, what we want, and who we are. Until we can be truthful with ourselves and with the people we deal with, we're always going to have doubt and suspicion, and that's going to hold us back from moving forward. So I just want to make sure we throw that in here. So
For sure. But thank you guys for sitting and talking with us and listening to us this afternoon.
oh, no, it's late at night, baby. What
It
time?
is.
What time is
Put the
it?
heart up, babe.
Heart up, the love heart.
We are
Yeah,
one.
you're gonna see the logo. It's gonna be right up there. I think the Mark, brother Mark Love logo. Brother Mark's got nothing but love. But yeah, the dating game, please. I am still working on the dating game. Actually, I'm gonna be working, writing on the chapter right now on how we got here, and I'm gonna talk about the attack on Black women. So yeah, I mean, again, sisters, I want y'all to understand, men are wanting to be heard. We don't hate you. We don't. Do we like everything that we see out there? Absolutely not. But do we categorically just hate black women? No, we want y'all. But there's some things that we have to be able to understand and hear on both sides objectively. So I'm going to be getting to the attack on black women and how we got here in the dating game. So please pre-order the dating game. You saw the Cash App scrolling at the bottom of the screen. I'm going to make sure that's there. But yeah, $13 to pre-order the dating game, rewriting the rules so that you can win at dating. Because again, we've got to have some level of communication that everybody can agree on, and so we can have some peace and harmony with each other, because we need each other. Ain't nobody coming to save us, so we got to take care of ourselves. So hopefully our honesty, our transparency, and our sharing invites you into the movement and the journey to help everybody find love. Good.
You guys have a good evening.
She